like, and that doesn't count. I mean, I'm sure like Michael, I don't know how. I mean, you've got like 27 kids. Then they each probably have their own device that Netflix could theoretically be hooked to.
Yeah.
And plus, for those who don't know, Michael has at least one wife, and she probably could also have a device or phone or whatever that'd be hooked to.
One wife.
You know, and
Yeah,
then
because
as
that
a
other one's
count,
buried.
and Michael's
No.
a big nerd, so I'm sure he has Netflix hooked to his computer as well. You know, so it's like, I mean, this is all these devices. You know,
Nice.
and so somebody like Michael is going to be penalized for having like family members under his same roof.
Banana Bear Show.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Banana Bear Show. I'm Corn TV, and today I'm with two individuals that blow my mind every time I talk to them. One being the doctor himself. Well, I guess a doctor of something, thugonomics or something. Anthony James.
What references are these? Are this supposed to be the Moon Knight or something?
Yeah, I was gonna make crazy things like you were the doctor, then like our psych ward patient, Mikey.
Well, I'm Anthony James, and I wouldn't have got that unless I was literally on the show. I knew what we were going to talk about today.
Dude, this is the 98th episode. Give me a break.
The countdown to 100 has began.
It began.
Did it just begin?
Began.
Speaking of beginning things, we're also joined by somebody else. Corm, do you want to introduce the other guy on the show?
Well, I mean, I already said it was going to be, but according to sources, this guy has anal leakage.
Oh wow! I thought he was gonna be a hippo, but okay, that was right there. But okay,
I would have been a lot better with the hippo.
Mikey.
Oh, here we go. All right, hey guys. If you want to listen to the audio podcast, you can listen to us wherever you get your audio podcast from: iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, all those good places. Anywhere, we're everywhere. If you want to see our beautiful faces, almost messed up there, you can check us out on YouTube.
What, our beautiful faces are almost messed up, you mean? Faces. Oh, okay. Let's make sure.
Okay. So
you can't see
me. They can.
Yeah.
They can see you on YouTube at Banana Bear Show. Oh.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. You almost got through it. Not really. Without messing up. I loved it. Speaking of not getting through things, guys, let's start the show with some news.
Netflix says it lost 200,000 subscribers. 200, not 1,000. That's what this says. 200 million.
I was going to say, wait, that is like,
yeah.
Wait, okay, that's like
a lot. Wait a second. There's a big difference between those two numbers, Mikey.
Yeah.
Which one's the right one?
I'm confused now too. Actually, I thought it was 200,000.
Because one's a city, one's like a state. So
200 million. That's a lot. That's a lot.
I'm curious if I made the mistake or you made the mistake.
I don't know either. Yeah, let's figure out.
Hold on. Oh, yep. Netflix lost 200 million subscribers, is what you put, Anthony. Okay.
Oh, my bad. I meant 1,000 though. I thought you put, actually, when we were doing this, I thought you were the one who said million. I said 1,000. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's 1,000. But anyway, yeah, 200,000. Yep. And 35% of their stock tanked.
And that's just in the first part of this year.
Yeah. First quarter. Wow. They're projected to lose more next quarter. Let's talk about it. Why do we think this happened, guys?
I have an idea.
Well, I'm sure you do. Go ahead.
You have all of these streaming services. They're all giving you good like options, I guess. I mean, like, I don't think Prime has done anything big, but they're never going to go down because it's Amazon, you know.
Yeah.
And then you have HBO Max and Disney Plus. Those are the two big titans. And then right behind them, you have Hulu, which is part of Disney, and Paramount. And then you have the specialty ones because nobody talks about this. Like you have Shudder and Peacock. I say specialist because those are the ones no one really talks about.
Well, I was going to say Peacock and Paramount, and also you also got to consider you have these stream services, but they also no longer have like The Office and these other things they used to have on Netflix.
It's weird too because like a lot of times when I'm like, oh, HBO Max. So if it's a Warner Brothers thing, it's going to be on HBO Max, or like Marvel's going to be on Disney. But I go on HBO Max and I see like Thor is on there. I'm like, what?
I know. And also Netflix it's like very confusing, but Netflix will get the new Spider-Man movie. before Disney Plus. It's
But-
like it's confusing because there's all these old deals in place still,
Yeah.
which is wild. But yeah, I don't know.
But like the bad thing about Netflix compared to those other ones is that you have major movies going out, right, in theaters and then coming to those streaming things. But then you have like Netflix, which is everything's kind of like they get that too, but not as like I don't think people like put it through their head like, oh, that Spider-Man movie is going to go to Netflix. They think it's going to be Disney Plus, but like all their stuff, their shows are like homegrown, kind of. You know what I mean? Like you'll watch it if you have Netflix, but it's not going to force you to watch it.
Yeah. They give them money to make it, or they buy the shows, or what have you.
Yeah.
Another thing too, I've noticed like they used to. It was almost a joke. Like probably about 5 or 6 years ago, Netflix would never cancel anything. It seemed like, and now they can. Now they like 2 or 3 seasons, and apparently that's like the magic to where they feel like the return is not worth it because I think you got to renegotiate after so many seasons or something. It's something like that, and that's why we see shows getting canceled after 2 or 3 seasons a lot of times, and it happens with everything. But
a lot of their stuff, like after like 2 episodes, if it's not doing well, they just cancel it. Like Cowboy Bebop, like it was like the 2nd episode. They're like,
2 episodes.
We're canceling this. We're not renewing it.
That's not right. It actually had a full season that was on Netflix.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, like it didn't get any time to breathe because I remember it came out. People were like, and then they're like, we're not renegotiating another season.
Michael,
Like
do you understand what he just said? He just said Netflix cancels things after 2 episodes. That's not true.
Right.
Not 2 episodes. Sorry. Like, sorry. It sooner than they would normally.
It's like
Because
most
you would
people
think it would be out there for a little bit.
get the chance
what?
to. Most people don't even finish the season, is what he's saying, and they're
Oh,
they're
okay.
already canceling it. Is what it seems like.
Well, okay, so not literally 2 episodes.
Right. I mean,
So
all
yeah,
those episodes are
one-
out there.
one-
Some people binge watch them, of course.
Yeah, one lie was detected. Okay.
It wasn't a lie. It was a misunderstanding because I keep forgetting that Netflix, they drop all the episodes and like everybody
Do
else,
you?
yeah, because I don't have it. I'm borrowing yours.
You forget. Oh, that's another thing too. That is like that's going to be like that sucks because Netflix is going to be the guinea pig to charge you more, and they've already done it. In, like I think 2 markets apparently. Like
Yeah,
it's
2
4 markets.
overseas markets.
Yeah. They'll charge you more, like for like sharing your account.
What?
Yeah. You didn't hear it, Corm. This is news to you.
No, I'm just saying what
This
though.
is-
Like,
Yeah, this is like a thing that they've already said's happening, and they blame this because a couple of years ago they didn't even care if you shared your account because they actually almost encouraged it because it got more eyeballs on their stuff. Now they're saying that's hurting their product.
Yep.
Because like they're saying, I think it's like I can't remember the number, but it's a crazy number they came up with that they're saying this is like the amount of people that aren't actually signed up for Netflix that you're just using. People are using it, but for somebody like me. This is going to be a big issue for me because I actually watch Netflix more at work because of what I do for a living. I have it hooked up to the TV at work, which is, like still in the same city, but still, that I actually do at home. And plus I actually go to the gym and I watch on my phone at least, like 4 or 5 days a week as well. So I'm like, yeah, this is like kind of going to irritate me because how are they going to know if it's a situation like mine? Or if it's a situation like that, I'm other people are watching this. You know what I'm saying?
I believe. Remember
I don't
the
understand.
WW Network? Like when they first started up, they also had the same thing. Like, oh, you could like use it on like 3 devices or something like that.
Okay.
And then like they were like, after the backlash of that, because if you think about it, like a lot of people like me that, oh, okay, I have Disney Plus, I have
Yeah.
HBO Max, and another thing, if I can't have somebody else use that or something like that, like where it's I'm getting the bang for the buck that I'm paying for,
yeah,
I'm just gonna say screw it and just like cut the feed altogether.
well,
like-
that's the thing. I have 2 TVs that it's hooked to at my house and my phone. Right before back at one point, I also had a tablet that was hooked to, and plus the television at work, it's also hooked to, and that's all legitimate stuff. I'm watching just me.
Right.
So it's
And-
like, and that doesn't count. I mean, I'm sure like Michael, I don't know how, I mean, you've got like 27 kids, then they each probably have their own device that Netflix could theoretically be hooked to.
Yeah.
And plus for those who don't know, Michael has at least one wife and she probably could also have a
Have
device or phone or whatever that'd be hooked
one
to.
wife, one wife.
You know, and
Yeah,
then
'cause
as
that
like
other one's
now,
buried.
and Michael's a
No.
big nerd, so I'm sure he has Netflix hooked to his computer as well. You know, so it's like, I mean, this is all these devices. You know,
Nice.
and so somebody like Michael is going to be penalized for having like family members under his same roof. Apparently, unless it goes by Wi-Fi, that's the only thing I get away from that. But in my case, I'm using the gym Wi-Fi, my home Wi-Fi, and the work Wi-Fi.
So what
So-
I think is that you're gonna set an address, and they can go by your IP address and say, okay, this
Yeah.
IP is tied to this. They can quorum.
Yeah, but what if you're
Well-
using one of those?
VPNs, yes,
Yeah.
VPNs is
That
a
would be a way
very
around
popular
it.
thing.
I don't
And
think
but
they'll
the-
be able to figure that one out.
Because
that's what
one of the
that's
reasons
what
why
I'm saying- that's
VPNs
what
are
I'm saying.
popular is because of Netflix, like in
Yes.
other
Yeah.
areas.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
another thing that would actually penalize you for using a VPN now with Netflix, because they'd be like, "Oh, that's another person" or whatever, and so they'll charge you $1. But the thing is, they talked about also like having a primary account
Yeah.
and other accounts. But in Michael, in your case, I'm sure how many people do you have legitimately in your family that have their own Netflix account? You know,
They would have
Probably at
their
least
own
four.
Netflix profile.
or a profile. It's on at least
We
probably like
have
4 or 5.
Four profiles.
Yeah, yeah. Is that the max? I feel like you got to pay more to get
I
past
think
4,
it's
right?
6.
But
I
I
don't
think
know.
you can add more, but I think you got to pay more or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know. I've not
I
had
think-
to, and that's
Okay.
been sufficient for us because
Yeah.
we have one for me, one for my wife, one for my
Yeah.
kids, and one for my in-laws.
Wow. So you make 3 children share a Netflix account?
Yeah, because they watch pretty much the same thing, and I put it on kids so it doesn't have any adult content.
Oh, yeah. Because your teenage daughter, I'm sure, appreciates her having to watch it on the kids mode.
I have this weird feeling that they're gonna
All right,
probably.
Michael. Anyway,
I
can we get Michael's teenage daughter on here to talk about Netflix really quick and how she feels about it? Does she even care about Netflix? She probably doesn't care about Netflix.
No, she's moved on to like Hulu and stuff like that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
but
the thing-
Netflix is the
that's-
training wheels one, and then you just move on.
Well, we'll
Kind
talk
of.
about that. We'll talk about that in a minute, because there's also a church that, which I don't do anymore. Now they have money to pay for multiple accounts
Yeah.
or multiple streaming services, but there used to be churning, and people still churn. Well, they'll say they'll have Netflix 1 month,
Oh,
cancel it, have Disney Plus to watch a whole season or whatever, time it out to where they're going to HBO Max, watch some movies or a show, and just like they only have like 1 or 2 active at a time.
Well,
And then they just go between the services. It's called churn.
That-
yeah.
Also, the funny thing is because of all these streaming services,
What's funny?
there used to be this thing like, you put an Android software or something on one of these boxes, and it's like a hack box.
Oh,
and like,
yeah.
and basically you're going to turn people towards that
Yeah.
real quick because it's easier to just have the services just go through it, so you don't have the buffering and all that stuff.
Mhm.
But that's free. This isn't. I have a
Yeah.
feeling they're going to make it like all the the services may start becoming like actual like channels, to the point where you'll have a premium, I mean like a normal thing that you can just log in, go in, you don't have to pay for. And then you'll have the ones that
Netflix has already talked about this, and other things already do this. But
Yeah, like
Netflix
Crackle.
has talked about doing a very low tier thing with ads. Actually,
Yeah, and I have a feeling that's going to happen. They're not going to track those. Yeah, you can have that all you want, but there's going to be ads, and not all the content's going to be on there.
We're just
then you
going
have the
back to
premium
cable.
one.
That's all we're
or
doing.
I know.
Yeah, no, that's what that's what I'm getting
Or-
into. It's
figured.
like
Or you can pay a cheaper one and do Hulu, where you only have so many ad breaks, which is very annoying.
Which we have we
Uh,
have the cheaper Hulu because actually
too.
right now
Me too.
Verizon, if you have their
Right.
cell phone service at a certain tier of
you're
data,
free,
you get it
Yeah.
free.
Yeah.
So
which is funny because it's only
They
Hulu.
did that with
It's
they did that
nothing
with
else that Disney,
Disney
has.
Plus. They did that with Disney Plus at one point too.
No, they give it
Dis-
out. They give that out for free for a year.
Yeah,
no,
yeah. Did I-
Disney
did I
Plus
not
is
say-
still free. I have a tier
Yeah.
where it's Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN.
Oh wow,
But you have to pay for the Hulu one though. I mean, not pay for it.
no.
It's
he
just
has
a
the
different. Oh,
ads.
okay.
It's just
He has
it's
he has
like
the low
40
tier one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And-
It's like 40. It's my data. I have unlimited data, and I think it's
Yeah.
the $45 tier phone plan for
Okay.
data.
I just think it
thanks for promoting Verizon real quick.
it will be funny
Sponsored by
If I'm-
Verizon.
if I'm right on this whole adding ads and stuff.
Yeah.
You know how Shutter has kind of a feed that
If-
just goes through the.
If you're right about the thing they said they'll probably do, yes, Corm. If
No,
you're
I'm
right.
saying no. What Mikey said. It's basically we're going back to cable, but it's
Yeah.
going to be internet services instead
Yeah.
of using actual cable things.
It basically is. It's basically going to a bit of a channel on demand situation
Yep.
because things are so spread out.
Yeah.
To where it's Netflix used to at one point, and this was not that long ago. This was only maybe 10 years ago. Really, you had Netflix and Hulu.
Yeah.
And
that
then
was
Prime
real-
Video.
Oh, and Prime, but who the frig was watching Prime before the boys?
There was
Really?
nothing
Yeah.
on Prime.
You know what I'm saying? That's really, I mean, Prime, and then you had all these little other Mickey Mouse things here and there. Not literally Mickey, you know what I'm saying? Like crap things.
You
Yeah.
gotta be careful that some of those phrases
uh-huh.
nowadays.
I know. But I mean, you had, Crackle and little things here and there.
Yeah.
But really, you really people just watch Hulu and Netflix.
Crackle
Now-
used to be like YouTube.
Kinda. Yeah.
No, because I uploaded videos on there before.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh,
yeah,
wow. You
and then
could do
they
that.
changed. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. But now you got things so spread out, and the thing that kind of sucks is that not all, but a good majority of them have at least something to offer you, be it like an older movie or an older TV show or original content. They'll
Except
have something.
for Paramount Plus.
I'm sure they have something. I think they have South Park on there and MTV shows and stuff. But I don't know.
Yeah, but so does HBO
Trying to
Max.
think. And they also had that the nobody cares about, but that show, The Offer, that's about the making of The Godfather. It's not a documentary style, but it's
Mhm.
like a whatever.
Mockumentary, but not
No,
really.
not a documentary. It's literally, it's people like scripted
Yeah.
with actors and stuff, and it's about the making of The Godfather.
It's like the story
Huh.
of making The Godfather, but they made it into a movie kind of show.
yeah,
thing.
it's like a dramatized, a limited series. Yeah.
I was just thinking of Paramount Plus because I saw a little of that Halo show recently.
Oh, that isn't that on there? Am I wrong?
yeah, but it's
Yeah.
funny though because
That's on there.
Paramount is CBS, right?
Yeah.
And their logo's an eye. What is all their programming woke? So anyway, when you're woke
Okay.
your eye, get it?
Okay.
They're living up to their logo.
Okay.
all their
cool.
shows are like that.
No, that
Mm.
joke killed for the people at home, I'm sure.
Dude, shut up. I can
Oh.
still hear the crickets.
I bet this person driving to work just spat their liquid, their hot coffee all over their dash right now, because that joke killed.
I don't think I'm gonna car crash. That sucks.
Yeah. Speaking of people playing with themselves as they drive, the other thing, the other elephant in the room is the increase of price
Oh,
throughout
yeah.
the years that have been pretty consistent. Sometimes more than once a year. I'm pretty sure.
What
And
was it
that-
like when it started?
That's annoying.
You
It was
remember?
like $7.99 or something, right?
Wasn't
When I
it
started.
$9.90? Like what, $1.99
Yeah, one
or
time
something?
at one time it was even cheaper. Yeah, it was very cheap for a while, and it stayed very cheap for years. And then all of a sudden it went up 50 cents and $1 at a time. Yeah,
Okay, so
Yeah.
and now it's up to $15.
let's see. It started out. Oh my gosh, where is it? Okay, started out at $7.99 in 2013
Told
for
you.
standard, and then you had premium, which was $11.99.
Yeah.
A year later, they had basic, standard, and premium. So $7.99, $8.99, $11.99.
Yeah.
2015.
And
was
I
the
think
same.
with that was there was something. I think the profiles was a thing with that, and there was a few other things with that too. Yeah.
So
remember,
2019,
yeah.
it jumped up $1 for each. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
$1 for basic, $2 for standard, and $2 for
Yeah.
premium.
and that then and also that came into play was the HD stuff too. You could do HD. And,
Yeah, there was standard definition. Oh man.
Yeah, that was another thing too. That you could do HD on there too.
And then they're like, "Oh, we'll just stretch it out and say it's HD."
Some of it, yeah, some of it does not look good. But anyway, go ahead.
2020 jumped up another $1 for standard and $2 for premium. So now we're at $13.99, $17.99.
Yeah, Jesus.
And then in 2022, so this year in January, it jumped up from basic is now $9.99, standard is $15.49, and premium is $19.99.
That's crazy.
$20 a month.
Yeah.
For something that used to be like $11.99 for that same basically the same thing you would have got a year ago. It's almost doubled.
So premium
And then
is
$7.99 it has doubled. I mean, it's freaking doubled.
premium is up to 4K and 4
Ooh.
simultaneous streams.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's another
Oh,
thing
at the
too,
same time.
Yeah.
when you upgrade to that thing too. If you actually like I think before the standard was on like 2 streams or something at a time.
Yep. So
And then you went to the next level and it was like 3 or so 4. So I forget.
yeah. So basic is 1, standard is
That was part
2,
of it.
premium is 4.
But I think the actual shows have always been, you always would get the same shows no matter what
Yeah.
level you were, because I've always been the lowest tier.
Yeah.
I'm quite the bottom in that way. But the just to save money, I'm a cheap bottom. Always, I mean, even that's why Hulu, why I have the ads, and I hate the ads. Hulu is the worst. They play the same ad over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
It is maddening.
This
to watch-
forest fire
watch-
thing like 5 times. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna burn down a forest.
I know.
I see it
it's
one more
maddening.
time. Smokey the Bear's gonna
Wow.
get real pissed.
It is. Hulu's rough. Like Tubi, even though they'll do it too, Tubi is not too bad. Their ad breaks are super random on Tubi. I will say that. But I mean, I don't know, man. It's crazy.
It's
the
always a
whole-
shitty ads too on Tubi. Like it's like the
always
bottom tier ones, like that are like
Yeah.
before like a YouTube video type thing.
Yeah. Some more crap. Tubi shockingly has randomly good movies on there.
Dude, now,
Weird.
yeah, this
It's
year
weird.
they've gotten big. They got
Wow.
so many
Weird.
nostalgic like hits.
Yeah.
It's insane. Just think of like horror wise, they
Yeah.
have I think all the Nightmare on Elm Streets now.
Do they?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They have a Halloween. They they have a bunch of things on there.
That's crazy. I know.
Yeah.
I know they randomly just have some pretty decent stuff.
They have
And
RoboCop
sometimes
too.
Yeah. And sometimes they'll randomly have stuff on there. They used to have the Tales from the Crypt cartoon too. Yeah.
Oh,
they will-
Tales from the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah. They'll randomly have stuff like that on there that's also on another streaming service, which is funny, but yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking they actually had some original stuff. I don't think I've ever watched any Tubi original stuff because it probably sucks, but whatever. But yeah,
That's bottom tier.
overall,
You're the show I'm watching is the 2B original.
I know, right? Yeah. What the hell? Anyway, I'm still telling people about Tubi. This is weird. People don't even know about this. But anyway, so is there anything else that you guys can think of that's like why? I mean, they also blamed Russia. They took
Ukraine.
the stuff. Yeah. They blame that because they no longer offer Russia or supporting Russia. Yeah, right.
So we're gonna get decked for it.
But I'm saying that's what they blame for the subscription people leaving the service. That's not a factor really. But this is the first time in like I think a decade, maybe even over a decade, they've actually lost subscribers. But the thing is, a lot of this stuff was announced before and rumored before. The subscription or the sharing subscription thing was been rumored. Like I mean, all these factors were happening before the increase in price and all this stuff. So this didn't just happen overnight. I mean, everything we've talked about, all these streaming services have been in the pipeline or been around for at least a year now. I mean, what Disney Plus, I think WandaVision, isn't that like a year old by now? Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's funny to think about. Yeah, that's wild to think about. I think it's over a year old now. I mean, this just didn't creep up on them. So I don't know. I think Netflix is not necessarily like I don't want to say in trouble, but I think they're like at least like trying to look further into the future than they've been looking, and maybe now they're looking at before I felt like they almost seemed too big to fail.
They're challenged right now.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
not.
Well, dude, because they got HBO Max and they got Disney
Yeah.
Plus right there.
Yeah.
Because
But the thing,
if you think about it,
the thing is they do have good original content, but the thing is that's not even as appealing as it used to be because a lot of people don't like the original content. At one point, I liked a good majority of it. Now, it's not every week, that's for sure. Now they do have good stuff. Don't get me wrong. Squid Games, Fear Street show. I mean, I even like a lot of the reality shows. I know you guys don't watch it. I watch them with the guy at work. So with he loves that stuff. So I do get use out of Netflix, but at the same time, like honestly, I'm trying to think probably the past 3 weeks. I think the only thing I watched on there was that Bubble movie, and it was because somebody else wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
I think
So I'm
Squid
trying to
Games-
think of anything else I've watched on there. Can you guys? I mean, have you guys watched any Netflix stuff here in the past?
I
Well,
don't.
it's-
I don't watch Netflix.
I don't
You're
unless
a freaking liar. Yes, you do.
unless I see something that's
You're a
like
freaking liar.
Typically, I
Fear
don't.
Street, Squid Games, all that crap I just named, you watched.
with their hits when their
I didn't
hits
watch it on
they're like
Netflix.
they're like pop culture like hits. Like Squid Games was all over the place when that was a hit, right?
Yeah.
It-
They're,
it,
they're
like,
very good. And Ozark's about to end its final last part of the season, which is going to be freaking nuts in a few days. And there's already there's already people that's have got the whatever the press people. And so, I mean, it's going to drop like a bomb as far as stuff about that coming up. So.
but like their stuff is like they throw it on there and hope it catches a glimpse because they don't really like promote it until it's out, right?
Yeah.
But then you have what is it called? Like Disney Plus. We all knew that Moon Knight was coming,
That's true.
and then when it hit, it gave us what I think
Yeah.
just 1 or 2 episodes. I
Yeah.
forgot how this
One.
one. Yeah, one.
Was
and,
it one
like-
this time?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can just
And
find
then basically, you're gonna get a hit from that person at least once a week from there, and if they hit
Yeah.
it 5 times and they're doing that for subscription, that's
Well, I know you guys don't watch reality, but they've been doing this a lot with the reality shows. They release 2 or 3 at a time per week. Like Love Is Blind, that was a big social media thing.
Right.
That was released in chunks.
Hmm.
Yeah.
They've been doing that with a lot of their shows, especially the reality shows. Because think about there's certain type of shows, and reality shows are normally one of those that they can edit it to end on a big cliffhanger
cliffhanger.
Yeah.
type of thing, and that's how they're going to do it. And a lot of other shows they can do that with too. I mean, you know what I'm saying, that they can do that with. So I feel like Netflix is definitely moving more towards that model to get people to stay subscribed.
Kind of
And-
like how they did He-Man, right? Because they did one chunk and then
well,
another chunk.
He-Man was just 2 big chunks.
Oh, okay.
And it wasn't within a week of apart. I'm talking about literally on a Wednesday they were releasing Love Is Blind 3 episodes or something like that.
Oh,
And
okay,
it was-
okay.
And it was over the course of 3 or 4 weeks or whatever it was. And then the reunion would be its own week or whatever. That type of, and that was would kind of keep those people subscribed.
Mhm.
I will say Netflix is very good at the shotgun type of thing, the shotgun appeal, because you literally have a show like Love Is Blind on there with Squid Games and Fear Street. And then also you have the Adam Project on there with whatever else. You know what I'm saying? And Judd Apatow's The Bubble Movie on there too. And then you also have all this foreign content that randomly people like.
Yeah.
to do.
Like
And-
the last
and-
2 years, it's been a
Yeah.
lot of Korean stuff.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the thing is, they
Wow.
have Ozark in, and they have Stranger Things about them, which possible spinoffs. We'll see. And I mean, you have you have a lot of their big things that that are ending. So after Stranger Things ends, what else off the top of your guys' head is a Netflix show, exclusive Netflix show, other than maybe the Squid Game? I don't know, but I don't know how it's going to work. But there's no other big, what I would consider juggernaut shows on there right now, because you can only do so many Tiger King things. They keep milking that, but
And they don't even have the show version of it. The new one
Oh.
coming out.
I know that was on freaking. What was that on?
Peacock?
Hulu or Paramount or something? It was on Peacock. You're right, which was hilarious. That I actually, that was funny. Yeah, the actual show of that was funny. But that's the thing. I mean, can you guys think of anything else? I want Stranger Things is done. That's a big, because Orange Is the New Black at one point was a big thing for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an old show though. That's
You
been
know,
around.
Yeah, that was an earlier Netflix show. That was one that got 7 seasons. Ozark, all of a sudden, was a thing for them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and you have some few little things from there, but nothing as big as Stranger Things. Or Stranger Things is the biggest thing right now they have going,
Yeah.
and it's about the end. I can't think of anything big that would even be a contender for that. Can you guys?
It's
No.
no, and it's funny
I
because
mean, Stranger Things has freaking toys even.
Oh, they have video games, spin-off, all that other stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
It's-
that's what I'm saying. It's an actual
Franchise.
Thing.
Yeah.
because that hit at
Yeah.
the perfect time when it came out and the kids and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But now they're growing up, so they got to stop it somehow.
Do,
But-
do they have Squid Game toys? And if not, why not?
Yes, they do.
How
They
Okay,
have
I was
like
gonna say-
costumes out there.
I know they've had costumes. I mean, even when it was like brand new, but toys, that's like the easiest show ever to do toys for.
They don't
Dude,
have like action figures. I think it's just like collectibles and stuff like that, like the
Oh,
higher end
probably. I
toys.
Dude,
wonder
it-
who makes them.
That
I wonder who
show's
even
so
makes
stupid,
them.
man.
Because I
Uh,
remember one time we were in a text thing or something, and Michael was like, thought it was breaking news that McFarlane was making DC toys, and they've been making them for years. At this point,
No,
and
he
I-
worded it weird though. Like
he did. He weirded it like something like they're making new DC toys or something. McFarlane's
Yeah.
making, and he was confused on if they were like original McFarlane toys. I was like, "What the f is he talking
yeah, dude, the
about?" right
sculpting
now?
looks great on this. I'm like, yeah, their sculpts have been looking great
Yeah, they've been
for the
doing
last
this
4
for-
years that they've been doing
Yeah.
it.
So that's why I'm questioning if Michael knows what he's talking about with the toys and Squid Games. I'm
I
worried
haven't
about that.
seen any action figures out there, but I have seen vinyl pops and stuff like that.
Yeah,
just-
that's
Which
not
is
what I'm
owned by
talking
Disney.
about.
So
Oh, are they? That's wild.
Yeah.
But
found
they
that
have
out.
so many things under vinyl. But
I
mean,
know
DC,
it's weird,
they
but
do a lot of
Disney,
DT stuff.
like I guess Disney made them a subsidiary, like a smaller
Huh.
company, but
Oh,
they
yeah.
bought them. Of course, Disney doesn't make anything; they just buy other companies that make stuff.
Well,
But,
yeah,
like-
well, yeah, for sure.
But it's
So
just
I'm
funny
just-
that Netflix is on the same lines as
Corn.
Prime Video because
Corum,
they only have like 2 hits right now.
so Corum, let me ask you this: do you feel like that there are actual Squid Game action figures out there, like
No.
official Squid Game action? I don't. I feel like I would have seen those.
I mean,
I don't mean-
like
I don't
ones
mean
that
like
would be
the-
at like a store. No, I
Yeah,
don't
like
think so.
a McFarlane looking Squid Game action figure, like a 6-7 inch action figure.
No, I would think like something that you buy off of Amazon.
Maybe-
that has like different
maybe-
listings all over the place. Yeah,
Maybe one of those like retro tiny things. You know what I'm talking about? The tiny
Yeah, like-
little, like that they make like one figure from the show or whatever. Those things that Stranger Things did. Even
oh, with the
Yeah.
with the card and like the bubble. Yeah, okay.
yes, those things. Maybe those.
Well, Stranger
feels-
Things had that.
Yeah, that's what. But I mean, but so did randomly. They had like freaking random horror things in ET. But yeah, Michael, you're having trouble finding this, aren't you?
Well,
Michael,
it's
Can
kind
you
of
go and
hard.
just Michael? Can you just go and grab the hot sauce for me real quick,
No,
Oh no,
Michael?
Oh, no.
Because
no,
Because
I
the
said there's
second
vinyl
lie-
pops.
no, well, I know you said that, but that's not what we were talking about. There's been a second
Okay.
lie detected here on the same episode of the Benet Bear show.
All right, lie detector.
I mean,
there-
I'm just saying,
there are
it's sad.
action
I'm not
figures.
even the guy in the chair, and I'm fact checking.
Yeah, there's Funko Pops. They have a toy set, but I'm not sure if it was somebody who just made this. I think it is a customized little toy set. It's got the
Yeah,
big
that
the big doll.
that I'm sure has been made by like rent. That's not what I'm talking
Yeah.
about here. I'm talking official stuff because I'm sitting here trying to think. I can't think of any official like action figures other than Stranger Things from a Netflix show. Because Ozark, sure the hell didn't get any action figures. Don't know why not. Why wouldn't you? Come on, guys, make that family. I mean, what else? I mean, like I would love some Fear Street action figures. Actually, those would be cool.
Oh yeah,
Um,
with all the different killers. Yeah, that would
I
be-
know the killers. I don't care about the people, but the killers would be sick.
No, dude, they have to have the slate with the best kill in that thing with the.
Oh,
slicer.
the meat grinder chick. Yeah, that's true. She can have a detachable head or something. Be cool.
That would be-
That's what I'm saying. I literally can't think of any other. That's the issue with Netflix right now, is they don't have they don't have the steam they once had on top of everything else going on with the original stuff. A lot of their stuff is randomly a hit, right?
Yeah.
Would you guys agree that
Yeah.
you don't even like Squid Games and Tiger King, all this stuff? This wasn't stuff that you were looking forward, like Corn was saying. You weren't looking forward to this stuff for months, or even weeks, or even days. It was just on the service, and you logged on to your whatever your social media is, and people were talking about, or you talked to your friend, and they were like, "Have you seen Tiger King? What about Squid Games, folks? Look at the memes." And then you're like, "Well, I got to get on some Squid Games."
It's almost
Right.
like
yeah,
gotta go
because
on
I
the
saw
time.
like, oh, what's this big thing?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, it's
Yeah.
a foreign show. Like I didn't even know
I know.
that.
I know. Yeah. But it's, I mean, like Fear Street, admittedly, I did know about that because, I'm a bit, me and Corm are a little bit tapped into, I guess, the horror community. So I knew that was coming, but I didn't expect anything from it really.
Yeah.
that one, that one I knew, but I feel like that doesn't count because that wasn't like a big deal for most people.
Right.
The horror community did enjoy it, but
Banana Bear Joe.